My beloved child, I know you are tired. I know that for days, weeks, and perhaps even months or years, you have been on your knees, sometimes literally, sometimes in the quiet corners of your heart, asking me the same question, carrying the same burden, holding on to the same prayer with trembling hands. You have whispered my name in the darkness of the night when no one else was awake. You have cried tears that no human eye has seen. You have wondered in your most vulnerable moments whether I was listening at all. Type I receive it. If this message was for you today, I want you to stop everything you are doing. Stop scrolling. Stop rushing. Stop the noise inside your mind for just a few moments, because what I am about to speak into your life is the very answer you have been waiting for. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when things get better on their own. Right now, today, in this moment, I have chosen this exact moment for you to receive this message, not by accident, not by coincidence, but by divine design. You did not stumble upon these words. I led you here. I always lead my children to exactly where they need to be, even when they feel completely lost. So take a breath, beloved. Your answer has arrived. Let me begin by telling you something that I need you to truly receive deep in your spirit. I heard you. Every single prayer, every whispered plea, every desperate cry, every prayer you prayed so many times that you started to feel embarrassed repeating it. I heard that one too. Every time you said, Lord, I don't even know how to pray anymore. I heard the intention behind the silence. Every time you sat in your car and just wept without words, those tears were prayers to me, and I collected every single one. You must understand something about how I work, my child. I'm not a God who is far away, sitting on a distant throne, detached from the details of your life. I'm close. I'm near to the brokenhearted. I dwell with those who are crushed in spirit. That means that in your lowest moments, those moments you are most ashamed of, most afraid to admit even to yourself, I was not absent. I was closest. I know you have asked yourself, why is God silent? Why haven't I received an answer? Am I not worthy enough? Have I done something wrong? Has he forgotten about me? No, 1,000 times no. My silence is never abandonment. My delay is never denial. When I seem quiet, it is not because I am indifferent, it is because I am working. Behind the scenes of your life, in the invisible places where human eyes cannot see, I have been arranging, preparing, aligning, and building something that your mind cannot yet comprehend. And what I build with purpose. What I build with love. What I build to last. How long have you been waiting on God? Drop the number below. The potter does not abandon the clay when he puts it on the wheel. The fire does not mean the gold has been forsaken. The waiting season is not a wasted season. It is a working season. And I have been working on your behalf every single day that you have been waiting. Now, I want to speak to you about the timing, because I know this is where your faith has been most tested. You prayed and you expected. You believed and you waited. And the answer did not come when you thought it should. And in that gap between your expectation and your experience, doubt crept in. Discouragement set up a chair in your heart. And some days you almost gave up. Let me explain something to you, beloved. There is a difference between my timing and your timing. And that difference is not a punishment. It is a protection. You see, what you asked for, I did not withhold out of cruelty. I withheld it in some seasons because you were not yet ready to receive it in the fullness of what I had planned. Had I given you that blessing 3 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago when you first started praying, you would have received it without the strength, without the wisdom, without the character to steward it properly. And I love you too much to give you something before you are prepared to carry it well. Think of a seed, my child. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up the next day because you see no flower. You trust the process. You trust the soil. You trust that beneath the surface, something extraordinary is happening, even though your eyes cannot confirm it yet. The roots must grow deep before the flower can grow tall. And the deeper the roots, the more beautiful and resilient the flower will be. That is what I have been doing in your life. I have been growing your roots deep. I've been building a foundation in your spirit that can support the weight of what I am about to release over you. The waiting was not wasted. It was necessary. There is also something else I must tell you. Some of the delay was not about you at all. It was about the people, the circumstances, the opportunities that needed to be positioned correctly before I could open the door. I am not just the God of your story. I'm the author of thousands of stories simultaneously. And sometimes the timing of your breakthrough is connected to the readiness of someone else's obedience, someone else's step of faith, someone else's decision. Everything is woven together in my hands. What looks like delay from where you stand looks like perfect orchestration from where I stand. Type, God is faithful, if you still believe despite everything. Now let me tell you what I am releasing over your life today. Because I did not bring you here just to explain the past. I brought you here to speak over your future. Beloved, the door is opening. The very thing you have been asking me about, that situation, that relationship, that opportunity, that healing, that provision, that direction, that restoration, I'm moving in it now. Not eventually, now. The shift has already begun in the spiritual realm, and what happens in the spirit always manifests in the natural. So even before you see it with your physical eyes, receive it in your spirit today. Declare it as done. Thank me for it before you see it, because that is the faith that moves mountains. For those of you who have been waiting for healing, physical, emotional, or mental, I say to you today, I am the Lord who heals. I have not forgotten your body. I have not forgotten your mind. I have not forgotten the wound that you carry in silence. I'm touching that place right now as you read or hear these words. Receive your healing. Do not let the enemy tell you that you are too broken, too far gone, too complicated for my power. Nothing is too hard for me. Nothing is beyond my reach. You are being restored. For those of you who have been waiting for financial breakthrough, who have been struggling, barely holding on, watching bills pile up, wondering how you will make it through, I say to you today, your provider is here. I see every lack. I see every need. I have already prepared the provision, and it is on its way to you. Do not give up. Do not let shame suffocate your faith. I opened the Red Sea for my people when they had nowhere to go. I will make a way for you too. Your breakthrough is not coming. It is here. For those of you who have been waiting for restoration in a relationship, a marriage, a family bond, a friendship, a connection that seems broken beyond repair, I say to you today, what man says is impossible, I specialize in. I am the God of restoration. I restore what the enemy destroyed. I rebuild what the storms broke down. I bring together what life pushed apart. Do not write that chapter closed yet. Keep your heart open to what I can do. The reconciliation you have prayed for is possible in my hands. For those of you who have been lost, confused, wandering, not knowing which direction to take, what decision to make, what path is right, I say to you today, I am your shepherd, and I will not let my sheep wander without guidance. The clarity you have been crying out for is coming. The fog is lifting. The confusion is breaking. I will make your path clear. Step by step, I will show you the way. You do not need to see the whole staircase. Just trust the first step, and I will light the rest. What are you trusting God for right now? Comment below. My child, I have heard you and I have answered you. But I want to speak now about what I am asking from you in this season, because every divine partnership requires something from both sides, not with conditions. Not with a backup plan hidden behind your faith. Not with one foot in belief and one foot in fear. I'm asking you for wholehearted, unreserved trust. I know that is not easy. I know your history has taught you to protect yourself. I know that people have disappointed you, and sometimes you have projected that disappointment onto me, but I am not like people. I cannot fail. I cannot lie. I cannot forget you. I cannot be too late. When I make a promise, it stands, not because of your perfection, but because of my faithfulness. This might surprise you. You expected me to say, work harder, do more, pray longer. And while those things have their place, what I see in you right now is a soul that is exhausted from striving. You have been carrying weights that were never meant for your shoulders. You have been trying to control outcomes that belong in my hands. You have been losing sleep over situations that I have already resolved in the heavenly places. I am asking you to lay it down today, not because your problems are not real, they are. Not because the stakes are not high, they are. But because I am bigger than your problems, higher than your circumstances, and I'm asking you to let me be God. You do not have to figure everything out. You do not have to have all the answers. That is my job. Your job is to trust me, to stay close to me, and to take the next step I show you, even when you cannot see beyond it. Your words have tremendous power, my child. There is life and death in the power of the tongue. I created the entire universe with spoken words, and you are made in my image, which means your words carry creative power too. What you confess in faith, I can bring to pass. What you declare in alignment with my promises, I will honor. So stop speaking death over your dreams. Stop saying it will never happen. I will never be healed. Things never work out for me. Those words are seeds you're planting in the soil of your own future. Start declaring my promises over your life instead. Say, I am healed. Say, I am provided for. Say, my family is restored. Say, my path is clear. Say, God is working all things together for my good. Say these things not because you have seen them yet, but because I have spoken them, and my word does not return to me empty. It always accomplishes what I send it to do. Type, I am not forgotten if this touched your heart. Before I bring this message to a close, I want to say one more thing, perhaps the most important thing of all. Not for a single second. Not in the darkest night you have ever lived through. Not in the moment when you felt most invisible and most alone. Not when everyone else seemed to be moving forward while you felt stuck. Not when you felt unworthy of my attention. Not when you were at your worst, your lowest, your most broken. I have never forgotten you. You are engraved on the palms of my hands. I think about you more than the grains of sand on every shore of every ocean in the world. Before you were formed in the womb, I knew you. I planned you. I chose you. And my plans for you are good. Not just adequate, not just sufficient, but exceedingly and abundantly beyond what you have been able to ask or imagine. You are not a burden to me. You are not too needy. You are not too complicated. You are not too far gone. You are my beloved child, and there is nothing, no mistake, no past, no failure, no sin that has been repented of, that can separate you from my love. What you are walking through right now is not the end of your story. It is not even the worst chapter. Some of the greatest chapters of your life are still unwritten. Some of the most beautiful moments I have designed for you have not yet arrived. The best is not behind you. I'm leading you toward it. The victory is not something you missed. It is something you are approaching. So wipe your eyes, beloved. Lift your head. Stand up straight. You are not defeated. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are loved. Completely, unconditionally, eternally loved. By the God who created the stars and calls them by name. The same God who calls you by name and holds your future in his hands. Drop your name below for prayer. Thousands will agree with you. Today is the day that your answer arrives. Today is the day you choose to believe again. Not in your own strength, but in mine. Today is the day the waiting ends and the walking begins. Step by step, In faith, into the future I have prepared for you. I am with you. I'm for you. I have gone before you and I stand behind you. My hand is upon you, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Receive this word today. Let it take root in your heart. And watch what I do next in your life. I love you, my child. My beloved child, you came back. And that simple act of returning tells me everything I need to know about where your heart truly stands. You could have walked away after the first word I spoke to you. You could have dismissed it, minimized it, told yourself it was just words on a screen, just another message in an endless sea of content. But something inside you said, no, stay, there is more. That something was me. I drew you back because I'm not finished speaking to you yet. What I released in the first message was the opening of a door, but today I'm inviting you to walk through it. Today, I am not just addressing your circumstances. Today, I'm going deeper. I'm speaking to the parts of you that even you have been afraid to look at. I'm going into the rooms of your heart that have been locked for a long time. The rooms where the real pain lives, where the real questions hide, where the wounds that have never fully healed sit quietly in the dark, waiting for the light. Are you ready? Because what I am about to speak into your life will not just change your situation, it will change you. And when you change on the inside, everything on the outside begins to shift. That is the order of transformation. It always begins within. So settle in, beloved. Open your heart as wide as you can. Let the walls come down. You are completely safe with me. You always have been. Type "Yes, Lord" if you are ready to receive your breakthrough today. Let me speak. First, about something that most people never address, the hidden wounds. Every person who finds their way to a message like this is carrying something. Some of you are carrying grief, the loss of a person, a dream, a version of yourself that you thought you would always be. Some of you are carrying betrayal, the sting of someone you loved and trusted who chose to hurt you, use you, or leave you without warning. Some of you are carrying guilt, a weight from decisions made in your past that you cannot seem to set down, no matter how many times you have asked me to forgive you. And some of you are carrying something even more quietly devastating than all of these. Disappointment in me. You would not say it out loud. You might not even fully admit it to yourself. But somewhere beneath the surface of your faith, there is a bruise. A place where you prayed your hardest prayer, believed with everything you had, and the outcome was not what you asked for. Someone did not survive. The marriage still ended. The job did not come through. The child did not return. The diagnosis did not change. And in the aftermath of that unanswered prayer, a quiet voice inside you whispered, maybe he does not really care. Maybe I am not worth saving. Maybe faith is a beautiful idea that does not really work. I want to speak directly to that bruise today. My child, I understand your disappointment. I do not dismiss it or minimize it. I do not stand at a distance and say, you should just trust me more, as though your pain is a character flaw. I see the full weight of what you carried through that season. I saw every night you cried yourself to sleep. I saw the moment your hope broke. I saw you smile in public while falling apart in private. I saw all of it. And I want you to know I was grieving with you. People often misunderstand my nature. They think that because I am sovereign, because I am all-powerful, that means I am unmoved. That I watch suffering from above with cold detachment, pulling strings for some and withholding from others based on some arbitrary system they cannot decode. That is not who I am. I'm a God of deep, profound, and personal love. When you hurt, I feel it. When you weep, it moves me. When you called out to me in the middle of your worst night, I was not sitting on a throne checking a list. I was right there beside you, holding you through it, even when you could not feel me. The truth that I need you to receive today is this: not every unanswered prayer was a rejection. Some were redirections. Some were protections. And some were mysteries that you will only understand when you see the full picture in eternity. What word from this message hit you hardest? Tell us below. I know that is not always a satisfying answer. And I am not asking you to pretend it is. What I am asking is that you trust the heart behind it. That even when you cannot trace my hand, you trust my heart. Because my heart toward you has always been, and will always be, good. Now I want to address something that has been happening beneath the surface of your daily life. Something the enemy has been orchestrating quietly, hoping you would not notice until it was deeply rooted. He has been stealing your identity, not in one dramatic moment, but slowly, subtly, consistently, day after day, through small voices, through other people's words and opinions, through failures and setbacks, through comparison and rejection. He has been whispering a different story about who you are. And some of those whispers have become beliefs. Let me tell you what he has been telling you. And then let me tell you the truth. He has told you that you are too much, too emotional, too needy, too intense, too broken, too flawed for anyone to truly love. The truth is, I made you exactly as you are. And what the world called too much, I call depth. Your capacity to feel deeply is not a weakness. It is a gift. It means you can love deeply, grieve deeply, worship deeply, and connect deeply. Do not let the enemy turn your greatest gift into your greatest source of shame. He has told you that you are not enough, not smart enough, not successful enough, not spiritual enough, not disciplined enough, not worthy enough of the blessings you see others receiving. The truth is, your worth was never determined by your performance. Your value was established before you did anything right or wrong. I did not create you to earn your place. I gave it to you. You are enough because I say you are enough. And my declaration outweighs every human judgment, every past failure, and every lie the enemy has ever whispered about your value. He has told you that you are forgotten, that I have favorites, that I moved on to people who have more faith, that your season of blessing passed you by and will not come again. The truth is, I do not have favorites. I have children, and every single one of them, including you, has a plan, a purpose, a season of harvest that has their name on it. You have not been passed by. You are being prepared, and what I have for you, no one else can take. Because it was designed specifically for you. He has told you that your past disqualifies you, that the things you did, the person you were, the choices you made in seasons of pain or ignorance have permanently closed doors that can never be reopened. The truth is, I am the God of the second chance, and the third, and the 100th. My mercies are new every single morning. What I have redeemed, I do not recondemn. What I have forgiven, I have truly forgotten. You do not carry the weight of who you were. You carry the identity of who I have declared you to be. And I call you chosen, redeemed, beloved, and purposed. Type Amen if you believe God's timing is perfect. Today, I am asking you to reject the identity the enemy built for you and reclaim the one I gave you. Say it out loud if you must. I am not what my past says I am. I'm not what my failures say I am. I am not what my fears say I am. I am who God says I am. That declaration is warfare. That declaration breaks chains. My child, I want to give you clarity about something that has caused you tremendous confusion, the season of your life that you are currently in, because confusion about seasons causes people to misinterpret what is happening around them. When they are in a winter season, they think they have failed. When they are in a season of pruning, they think they are being punished. When they are in a season of preparation, they think they have been forgotten. And none of those conclusions are true. Let me tell you what season you are actually in. For many of you hearing this message, you are in what I call the threshold season. A threshold is the space between one door closing and the next one opening. It is a liminal space, an in-between place, and it can feel deeply uncomfortable. You are no longer in the place you left, but you have not yet fully arrived in the place I am taking you. And that space, that narrow corridor between the old and the new, can feel like stagnation when it is actually transition. In this threshold season, things that no longer belong in your next chapter are falling away. Relationships that were only meant for a season are completing their purpose. Habits and patterns of thinking that worked in your old chapter are being dismantled because they will not sustain you in your new one. Old versions of yourself, smaller versions, more fearful versions, more limited versions, are dying. And that dying process can be painful even when it is necessary. The discomfort you feel right now is not destruction. It is metamorphosis. Think of the butterfly. Inside the cocoon, the caterpillar does not simply grow wings and emerge. It actually dissolves almost completely into a kind of biological soup before its new form begins to take shape. If you could look inside that cocoon without understanding the process, it would look like devastation. It would look like the end, but it is not the end. It is the most profound kind of transformation, the kind where the old form must fully release before the new form can emerge. That is what I am doing in your life right now. Do not be afraid of the dissolving. Do not be afraid of the things that are falling apart. I am the one holding the process. I know exactly what I am building in you. And when you emerge from this season, those who have watched your journey will not fully recognize you, not because you have become unrecognizable, but because you will have become undeniably the person I always created you to be. The threshold season always ends. Spring always follows winter. The cocoon always opens. Your emergence is coming. Share one thing God has already brought you through. Encourage someone today. Now let me speak about something beautiful that is part of the answer I am bringing to you. I am rearranging your relationships. Some connections in your life have run their course, and I have already begun the process of graceful separation, not with bitterness, not with dramatic endings necessarily, but with a natural fading that will make sense to you in hindsight. Some people were only meant to walk with you through a particular valley, and now that valley is behind you. It is time to release them with love and move forward without guilt. But more importantly, I am sending new people. I am positioning divine connections in your path. People who will see you, understand you, and speak life over you rather than drain it from you. People who are aligned with where I am taking you, not just where you have been. People who carry wisdom you need, courage that will inspire your own, and a spirit that is compatible with the calling I have placed on your life. For some of you, I'm sending a mentor, someone who has walked the path you are about to walk, who carries the answers to questions you have not even thought to ask yet. Pay attention. They will not always announce themselves with fanfare. Sometimes, the most significant divine connections begin with a casual conversation, an unexpected introduction, a moment that seems small but is actually monumental. For some of you, I am sending a life partner or restoring the one you already have. Love is not finished in your story. Companionship, deep and true and lasting, is part of what I have for you. Do not let your history of pain convince you that you are destined for loneliness. The love I design does not look like what the world has tried to give you. It is patient and kind and strong. It is coming. It is being prepared even now. For some of you, I am sending a community, a people, a tribe, a family of faith and friendship that will become your greatest earthly support system. You were not designed to do this life alone, and isolation is one of the enemy's most effective weapons. But I am breaking that isolation. I am bringing your people to you. Be open. Be brave enough to let them in. And for all of you, I want to remind you, I myself am your closest companion. Before any human connection arrives, before any relationship is restored or renewed, I am here. I am enough. I fill the spaces that no human being was ever designed to fill. My presence is not a consolation prize while you wait for people. My presence is the greatest gift you could ever receive, and it is fully available to you right now, in this moment, without condition. Type, "I trust you, Lord," if you are choosing faith over fear right now. Who needs this message today? Tag them below. My child, I cannot close this message without speaking about purpose, because one of the deepest longings of the human heart is the longing to matter. To know that your life means something. To know that you are here for a reason that is bigger than survival, bigger than comfort, bigger than just getting through the day. You were not placed on this earth by accident. You were not born into this generation randomly. You are here on purpose, for a purpose, in this exact moment in human history. Because I needed someone with your specific combination of gifts, experiences, pain, passion, and perspective to do something that only you can do. Your assignment is not reserved for the perfect. It never was. Look through the history of the people I use most powerfully. They were flawed, they were afraid, they were scarred, they were doubting, they were unqualified by human standards. Moses stuttered. David failed morally. Peter denied me. Paul persecuted my church. And yet, I used every single one of them, not in spite of their weaknesses, but often through them. Because my power is made perfect in weakness. Your pain has given you an authority and a compassion that cannot be manufactured. The things you have survived have equipped you to reach people who would never listen to someone who has not been where you have been. The testimony you carry, the one the enemy tried to silence with shame, is a weapon of warfare that will set other captives free. Do not shrink from your calling because you feel unworthy. Do not hide your light because someone once told you it was too bright. Do not silence your voice because you are afraid it is not good enough. I placed that light in you. I gave you that voice. And when you use it for my purposes and my glory, I will amplify it in ways you cannot predict or engineer on your own. Your greatest days of purpose are still ahead of you. The chapters of your story that will impact the most lives have not yet been written. What you carry, what you have been through, what I have built in you through every hard season is needed by your family, by your community, by people you have not yet met who are waiting for exactly what you have to offer. Step into it. Stop waiting until you feel ready. You will step into readiness by stepping forward. I will meet you in the movement. I will equip you in the going. I will speak through you in the moments you feel most insufficient, and the words that come out will surprise even you, because they will not be coming from your ability. They will be coming from mine. Type still standing if life was hard, but God kept you going. My beloved child, I've spoken to you today about your wounds, and I have told you. They are being healed. I have spoken to you about your identity, and I have told you the truth of who you are. Have spoken to you about your season, and I have told you that transformation is already underway. I have spoken to you about your relationships. Yes, and I have told you that the right people are coming. I have spoken to you about your purpose, and I have told you that your greatest chapters are ahead. Now I leave you with this final word. The word I want you to carry with you from this moment forward. The word I want you to return to on the days when fear comes knocking and doubt tries to settle in again. I am not done with you. I've never been done with you. And as long as there is breath in your body, there is purpose in your story. The answer you were waiting for is not just a changed circumstance. It is a changed heart. It is a deepened faith. It is a clearer identity. It is a stronger foundation. It is you, more fully yourself, more fully mine, more fully alive than you have ever been before. That is what I have been building. That is what is being released over your life today. Receive it. Walk in it and never forget that you are loved fiercely, faithfully, and forever by the one who made you. knows you, and holds your every tomorrow in the safest hands in existence. I love you. My child, go now and live like you believe it. Type more Lord if you are hungry for everything God has for your life. My beloved child, here you are again, and once more I want you to know, this is not coincidence. This is not you simply passing time. Something in your spirit recognized that there was still more to receive, still more to hear, still more that I wanted to pour into the deep places of your heart. And that recognition, that holy pull that brought you back, is the sound of my voice calling you closer. Do not resist it. In fact, I want you to lean in even further today than you did before. Because what I'm about to speak is not for the surface of your life. It is for the very core of who you are. It is for the part of you that wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning with a racing heart. It is for the part of you that smiles through the day while carrying a heaviness that nobody around you fully understands. It is for the part of you that has come so close to giving up, not on life necessarily, but on the dream, on the prayer, on the belief that things can genuinely be different. I see that part of you, and I love that part of you most tenderly of all. So breathe, be still, and let me speak. My child, I want to acknowledge something today that rarely gets spoken about openly. The secret battle, not the battle people see. Not the struggle you post about occasionally or mention in passing to a trusted friend. I am talking about the war that happens entirely inside you. The one fought in the private chambers of your mind, in the quiet hours, in this space between what you show the world and what you actually feel. Some of you have been fighting depression that you have not named out loud. A heaviness that settles over you without warning. A grey fog that makes even simple things feel impossibly heavy. You have prayed it away, worshipped through it, quoted scriptures over it, and still some mornings it is the first thing waiting for you when you open your eyes. I want you to hear me clearly. Struggling does not mean you lack faith. Darkness does not mean I have left you. The presence of a battle does not indicate the absence of my power. It indicates that you are worth fighting over. The enemy does not waste his effort on people who are not a threat to his kingdom. The intensity of your battle is actually a reflection of the significance of your destiny. But I also want to say this with all the tenderness in my heart. You do not have to fight this alone. You were never meant to white-knuckle your way through every dark season in isolation. I placed people in the world, counselors, ministers, trusted friends, communities of faith, precisely because I knew that human beings need one another. Reaching out for help is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is actually an act of faith, faith that I placed the right people in your path for a reason. Lay down the weight of fighting silently. Let someone in. Let me in, fully into even the darkest corners you have been too ashamed to show me. I promise you, what you bring into the light loses its power over you. The secret battles that stay hidden in darkness grow. The ones you bring into my presence, they shrink. I am your safe place. I always have been. Come to me exactly as you are. Not cleaned up, not composed, not with the right words. Just come. That is enough. That has always been enough. Now I want to revisit something I touched on before, but I want to go deeper into it today, because I know it still sits unresolved in some of your hearts. There were prayers I answered differently than you asked. You prayed for that person to stay, and they left. You prayed for that door to open, and it closed. You prayed for a specific outcome, and what came instead seemed like the opposite of everything you believed me for. And in those moments, your faith took a real and genuine hit. I want to walk you through some of those moments today, not to explain them away, but to show you something you could not see from where you were standing at the time. That person who left, I saw what was ahead. I saw the patterns that would have repeated. I saw the version of you that would have slowly disappeared inside that relationship, trying endlessly to be enough for someone who was not positioned to receive you properly. I did not remove them to punish you. I removed them to protect you and to protect the space that needed to exist in your life for someone far more aligned with your heart and your calling to eventually step into. That door that closed, behind it was not what you imagined. The view from where you stood made it look like everything, but I could see beyond the door, and what was on the other side would have taken you years off course. I closed it with love, and the door I am opening for you now leads somewhere that the closed door never could have taken you. I know it does not always feel like protection in the moment. In the moment, it feels like loss. And loss is real. I do not diminish that. Grief over what did not happen is legitimate, and I honor it. But beloved, when you see the full picture, when you stand someday and look back over the whole landscape of your life, you will see my fingerprints on every closed door, every redirected prayer, every unexpected turn. And you will understand that not one moment was wasted. Not one prayer went unheard. Not one tear fell without meaning. Every answer I gave, even the ones that came in a different form than you expected, was filtered through love. That is the only filter I have. Everything that reaches you from my hand has passed through love first, my child. I want to tell you something about yourself that you have been drastically underestimating. You are stronger than you think you are. I know that might sound like a motivational phrase, and I want you to receive it as something far more than that. I'm not simply encouraging you, I am stating a spiritual reality. The strength that lives inside you is not your own natural resilience, as impressive as that has been. The strength inside you is my strength, deposited in your spirit at the moment of your surrender to me. And my strength has no ceiling. Look at what you have already survived. There were seasons that should have broken you completely, and they did not. There were moments when the ground gave way beneath your feet and you had no idea how you would take the next step. And yet, here you are. There were nights so dark that morning seemed like a rumor, and yet the sun rose and you rose with it. You are still here. You are still standing. You are still believing, even imperfectly, even with doubts, even on the days when faith feels more like a discipline than a feeling. That is not ordinary. That is the supernatural strength of a child of God, refusing to be consumed by circumstances that were designed to destroy them. I need you to stop looking at your life through the lens of everything you have not yet overcome and start looking at it through the lens of everything you already have. The enemy wants you focused on what is still broken, because he knows that if you ever fully grasp how far you have already come, how much ground you have already taken, you will become unstoppable in your faith. You are not as fragile as your fear tells you. You are not as far behind as your comparison tells you. You are not as stuck as your impatience tells you. You are a warrior who has been in the battle long enough to be battle-tested. And battle-tested warriors are the most dangerous kind, because they know from experience that they do not fight alone, and they have seen firsthand that I never lose. I want to speak now about something that functions like a key in the spiritual realm, something that, when practiced consistently, has the power to shift atmospheres, dissolve anxiety, and accelerate the manifestation of what I have promised you. That key is gratitude. I know that might sound simple, and in the middle of a painful season, it might even sound insensitive, as if I am asking you to pretend everything is fine when it clearly is not. That is not what I am asking. Gratitude is not denial. Gratitude is not performing happiness you do not feel. Gratitude is a choice, a deliberate decision to acknowledge what is still good, even while you honestly acknowledge what is still hard. And that choice, that courageous, intentional act of finding me in the middle of the mess, does something powerful. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. And what you focus on expands. When you focus on lack, lack grows larger in your perception. When you focus on my faithfulness, even the small evidences of it, the everyday mercies that are easy to overlook, faith grows larger. And larger faith creates more room for me to move. Start small if you must. Start with the breath in your lungs. Start with the fact that you woke up this morning when many did not. Start with one relationship that has brought you genuine warmth. One moment this week when you felt my presence. One prayer from years ago that I did answer. One storm I brought you through that you almost forgot about because you have already moved past it. Build from there. Make gratitude a daily practice, not as a religious ritual, but as a genuine conversation with me where you recount my faithfulness. Because when you remind yourself of who I have been in your past, it becomes much easier to trust who I am in your present and who I will be in your future. Gratitude also silences the enemy. It is extraordinarily difficult for fear and thanksgiving to occupy the same space simultaneously. When you fill your mouth and your mind with praise, even praise that costs you something because the circumstances do not feel praiseworthy, you are actively pushing back the darkness. You are declaring that I am bigger than your problem, and that declaration carries tremendous spiritual weight. My beloved child, as I bring this portion of my word to you to a close, I want to make you a promise. Not a vague, general encouragement, a specific, personal, covenant promise directly from my heart to yours. Whatever you are in the middle of right now, the waiting, the pain, the confusion, the grief, the financial pressure, the relational strain, the spiritual dryness, it is a season, and every season has an expiration date. I built that into the very fabric of creation, the turning of seasons, the cycling of day and night, the rhythm of planting and harvest. All of it was my way of embedding into the natural world a truth about the spiritual world. Nothing stays the same forever. Change is built into the system. Your current season is already changing, even if you cannot feel the movement yet. The chapter you are in right now is not the final chapter. The struggle you are experiencing is not the conclusion of your narrative. I'm a God who specializes in plot twists, in taking stories that looked finished and revealing that they were only just beginning. Your greatest moments of impact, your deepest experiences of joy, your most profound encounters with my presence, many of them are still ahead of you. Do not let the difficulty of the current chapter cause you to put down the book. I do not begin things I do not intend to finish. I called you. I chose you. I placed my spirit inside you. I gave you gifts and a purpose and a destiny that was written before the foundation of the world. And I am faithful to complete every good work that I begin. You may feel unfinished. You are. But unfinished is not abandoned. Unfinished means the work is still in progress. And I am the most patient, most skilled, most devoted craftsman who has ever existed. I will not stop working on you and through you until every single thing I planned for your life has come to fullness. That is my promise to you today. Seal it in your heart. Return to it on the days when everything inside you wants to believe otherwise. Hold it like the anchor it is, because my promises do not drift. My word does not change, and my love for you never ever runs out. My child, you came back 3 times now. That tells me your heart is open. That tells me your spirit is hungry. That tells me that beneath every doubt, beneath every wound, beneath every question, there is a faith in you that refuses to die. And I want you to know that faith is enough. It has always been enough. Keep coming back. Keep seeking. Keep knocking. The door is open. I'm here, and I am not going anywhere. I love you today. I will love you tomorrow. I will love you through every season, every failure, every victory, every ordinary Tuesday, and every extraordinary breakthrough. Forever and always, you are mine. your father, your healer, your promise keeper.